with racism. Yeah. Some struggle to make a living decent enough to support their families. Yeah. Some struggle in their relationships with church, God, and family. Yeah. And some fight the battles of spiritual warfare. There are also the battles that we never see. Yeah. Those that touch them deep at the core of their being, that shape the very foundation of who they are. Yeah. It is important that Solomon notes this here in the Bible for a few reasons. First, Solomon here acknowledges the struggles of his own father. He shows his human frailty. Yes. Yeah. Not only as a king of Israel, but as a human being. He is stripped of his titles down to the bareness of a human father. Yes. This also allows Solomon to acknowledge the power of God. The power of God to help David overcome and fight the wars that fail on every side. Yes. Just as struggle is a part of life, there is also a flip side to that coin, and I call it triumph. Yeah. Amen. All right. So we are all more than conquerors through Christ Jesus that strengthens us. Thirdly, he acknowledges that it is God who is in control and not David. Yeah. See, many situations come and we feel that, oh, I have a plan for this, I have a plan for that, and everything is strategically designed to get us where we need to go. However, we forget that God is in control. Amen. He says to the king of Hiram that until the Lord put them under the soles of his feet. This is a powerful statement because no matter what, God can allow you to tread safely through your battle to come out victorious. Yeah. For the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Yeah. Solomon continues and says, but now the Lord has given me rest on every side. Yeah. There is neither adversary nor evil occurrence. Yeah. Rest, that is something that we often take for granted. Yeah. We run from here to there with our plans for success, busying ourselves with the tales of life. Yeah. But when we are fighting wars that come on every side, the main thing that we want is peace. Yeah. Solomon again acknowledges God. He realizes that his own life has been granted peace. Yeah. Although the life of his father may have been bittersweet and filled with wars. Yeah. Amen. Can you imagine a life with no enemies? Amen. He did not have a single adversary. Yeah. Wait. Let me break it down just a little bit further, and maybe you'll get it this time. He had no haters. Now, here's the question. Was this partially due to the life of his father? Did David have a heart so much after God that God blessed not only him, but he saw it fit to bless his seed? Yeah. Did he know his father? Solomon, out of his gratitude, built a house unto the Lord. Yeah. This is an example of how God's blessings in our lives should lead to praise. Yeah. And our praise should lead to action. Yeah. These actions of gratitude should be in our everyday lives and not just part of a Sunday morning ritual. Yeah. True worship comes from the heart. Yeah. The word says that we must worship him in spirit and in truth. Now Solomon in verse 5 continues and he says, and behold, I purpose to build a house unto the name of the Lord my God. As the Lord spake unto David my father, saying, thy son, whom I will set upon thy throne in thy room. He shall build a house unto my name. Amen. See, initially here, I missed this part of this verse, but the Spirit revealed this later to me. Yeah. Even though Solomon had a purpose, it was up to David, the father, to convey the message. His father had a responsibility to tell him what he knew from his relationship with God. Now, if David had never communicated this to Solomon, that God came and spoke to him, that he wanted him to build the house, Solomon would have missed his purpose altogether. That's right. Now, never think that you are not able to influence another person. All right. When we go out into the world as children of God, we are conveying the message from the Father. If you have a right relationship with God. Now, Jesus came as the ultimate messenger, sent by God the Father to give the message of salvation. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. Again, I will ask you, do you know my Father? When you know Christ and you acknowledge his blessings, regardless of your circumstances, you are building your house, brick by brick, unto the Lord. Solomon purposed in his heart to do the will of God. He knew his purpose partially because of his own relationship with God, but more so because he knew that his father also had a relationship with God. So fathers, what does your relationship with God say to your children? Will you stand up and be an example so that your children can ask, do you know my Father? Or will you allow the wars on every side to keep you from doing and being the man that God has called you to be? Solomon tells the king of Hiram, now therefore command thou they hew me cedar trees out of Lebanon. I don't know about you, but I'm a king, you're a king. Why are you commanding me to do anything? You can ask me, but why are you commanding me? See, David had built the relationship prior to Solomon coming on the scene so that the king of Hiram was able to respect his command. So what relationships are you building that will allow your children to have the same respect? Now therefore command thou that they hew me cedar trees out of Lebanon, and my servants shall be with thy servants, and unto thee I will give him, for thy servants according to all that thou shalt appoint. For thou knowest that there is not among us any that can skill timber like unto the Sidonians. See, he was able to command another king to give him help. Now, not just any help, the best available. Cedars of Lebanon were known as the best cedar trees in the land, the finest products available for use. See, he did not choose haphazardly what he would use for his sacrifice unto God. We must not be half-hearted in what we purpose in our hearts. Solomon sent his men to work with King Hiram, and he was able to pay them the wages that they asked. He knew their worth. Solomon's wisdom in maintaining his relationships blessed others as well as helped his kingdom to thrive. It also allowed him to do the work of God. See, building is a process. We never start with a completed product.
Man.
That's right.
In marketing, there's a thing called a life product cycle. The product goes from one stage to another, gradually advancing until it has completely become used by the consumer.
That's right, teach them.
Okay, so what products are you putting out there? What are you consuming? And what has the Father given you in your talents, in your gifts, in your blessings that you can use to advance the kingdom and those around you? Now, we never start with a completed product. It takes time, it takes commitment, dedication, and determination to get to the end result. And money. Just as relationships with our families and friends must be built upon by using these same elements, we must remember that God is no different. I believe that Solomon did not have to recalculate his steps about how he would complete the temple. I would say that he knew in his God-given wisdom that if God purposed for him to complete such a task, and it was passed down through generations specifically for him, that God would supply exactly what he needed. In this case, the best of the best. God's promises never come without provision. Now, when fathers are in the will of God, the wars they fight may still come. But as believers, it is important to remember that the Father, God, that sent his Son, Jesus Christ, that we can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. Amen. Faith, along with a relationship with God, will allow you to even fight spiritual wars. When you can see what you are fighting, when you can't tell where it's coming from, and when you have no idea what's going to happen next. Now, if you know my Father, you can look the devil square in the eye in the midst of your trials and say, do you know my Father? Because at the name of Jesus, demons must flee. The 7th verse says, and it came to pass when Hiram heard the words of Solomon, that he rejoiced greatly and said, blessed be the Lord this day, which has given unto David a wise son over this great people. See, God will also allow your blessings to be reason for praise for those who you build relationships with. See, Hiram blessed God for Solomon through his relationship with David. He did not simply say, bless God for Solomon, but he acknowledges his lineage. In short, he says, yes, I know your father. Even in situations today where absentee fathers are prevalent, God is still in control. He still finds a way to be in relationship with his children. Now, the next part is up to you. Are you a child of God? The next part is up to you. Do you know my Father? Now, you may still find these same children asking you, do you know my Father? Not the earthly one, but the heavenly one. It is God the Father who is there when your earthly fathers are fighting their own wars. Generations of men have successfully fought wars on every side and left peace to their sons and daughters. When your relationship with God is your front line of defense, there is no battle to fight. For the battle is the Lord. And no weapon formed against you can prosper.
Go ahead with it.
Now, just as King Hiram, those around you may not always see what your relationships have built. You might have some relationships that are off in the forefront. Some people you call I just need a moment. I need to vent, I need to talk, I need you to be quiet and listen. What's up, Auntie? And you might have those relationships where people call you, or you're the person that people call, and you're like, God, I'm so tired, I can't listen to this phone call right now. I need a break. But God knows that He is our strength, and He is our help, and He is there when we are fighting the wars. Now, just as King Hiram said to David, some people will look at you and declare, blessed be the Lord this day, which has given unto David a wise son over this great people. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.